Morning CBC. I wanted to read a passage from Psalms that I came across this morning and just talk a little bit from there. This is Psalm 147. I'm going to start in verse 3. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. He determines the number of the stars. He gives to all of them their names. Great is our Lord and abundant in power. His understanding is beyond measure. The Lord lifts up the humble. He casts the wicked to the ground. Sing to the Lord with thanksgiving. Make melody to our God on the lyre. He covers the heavens with clouds. He prepares rain for the earth and makes grass grow on the hills. He gives to the beasts their food and to the young ravens that cry. His delight is not in the strength of the horse, nor his pleasure in the legs of a man. But the Lord takes pleasure in those who fear him, in those who hope in his steadfast love. We talked this past Sunday about shame and living in shame, and that's what really stuck out to me from the message this past Sunday. And I think about what this psalm says about our God. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. And toward the end there, it just talks about him taking pleasure in those who fear him and those who hope in his steadfast love. Now, I don't love shame. I don't like living from that place, but I do sometimes. And that's when I'm not thinking about who God says I am, but he heals the brokenhearted and he binds up their wounds. He doesn't look at us and shame us. He binds our wounds. And he takes pleasure when we fear him. And the big thing is, shame points us to hoping in his steadfast love. To me, I'm hearing that as, that's all I've got left. It's all we really ever have is his steadfast love, but we're putting our hope in that. So I just want to encourage you today, as this psalmist, think about not living from a place of shame, but living under a creator who named the stars, who binds up your wounds, and who takes pleasure when you fear him and when you hope in his steadfast love.